you guys, this is so great. I hope you can hear me. I just don't have the little microphone. I am cutting my horses loose. My son, genius, figured out a way to block it off temporarily at the alleyway instead of having to put a big fence up, which is not, it's not permanent, but they can't get out. That means, and it lets them have the whole alleyway to eat. And the whole time that he and my husband were out there, this I told my husband I never have had neighbors like that before. See, yesterday I think I told you guys that I felt like he was setting some sort of a trap by not shutting that gate. And I didn't mention it to my husband, okay? And this is the thing about me and my husband, like we are on the same, like we telepathically, uh, just are on the same level so much of the time in our heads. We have been that way for years. Ever since I've known him, that was part of why we hooked up, because we had that kind of telepathic relationship, okay? And usually, if I think it and he thinks it, then it's probably true, you know? And that's just common sense. If two people say, hey, this is what's up, and you have any insight into the thing at all, sorry I'm so shaking, you're probably right, right? Well, we were out there pulling weeds to shut this last side gate, and he said, I know what that son of a bitch is doing. And I said, what? And he said, he's not shutting that gate because he's going to say, he says, because that day when me and them argued, he said, that lady said, what do I got to do? Put a fence up to keep your stuff out? And my husband said, yeah, you do. And she said, and they had already been really rude to him, and he's generally not rude, but he'll get that way. He's like me, he's slow to boil, but hot when it comes to burn. And and she said, what if they get my fruit trees? And he said, I really don't give a shit. And she goes, I know you don't. And he goes, well, you don't either, because you people have been terrible neighbors. And then she says, we have tried to be the very best neighbors possible. They've never interacted with us at all. We have saved their butts so many times. One time one of their dogs jumped over the fence and was hanging itself, and I went over there and cut it down, one of her prized dogs. And another time, her dogs turn on each other, like they get packed up and they start running the fence and barking, and then they turn on each other, and they all turned on this one little mama, and some had her by her two legs, the back legs, and two had her by her neck, and they had her completely stretched out, and she was unconscious. And my husband, I mean, they were going to kill her. And she was a nursing mom. She had puppies. There was milk spurting out everywhere where they had bit her, her teats, and they were squirting out bloody milk. They were trying to kill her. My husband went over there and saved him and called the guy and goes, oh, they do that all the time. And he goes, really? They do that all the time? And he goes, well, then I won't go over there and save any more of them when they're unconscious. They do that all the time? Well, I wouldn't have dogs that did that to each other. Anyway, my husband says that's what they're trying to do. He says he's got that fence up now, so now he thinks he's covered by, the law part. And with that gate wide open, he thinks he's going to get him in there and then shut the gate and let him do some damage and call the cops, whether it is to eat his hay or whatever. So my husband was on the same wavelength that he feels like this guy was like trying to set a trap. I knew it. I could feel it. Anyway, happy day. They're out. Oh, and he's over there. He's over there right now by his pickup just looking because he sees that I let him out, and he doesn't know that we've blocked off these two sides already without him looking. He knows my son blocked off the front, but he doesn't know that the sides are blocked off. So he's out there waiting again to see if they get over to his yard. What a loser, man. If I put that much trouble into being evil, well, I certainly wouldn't be going where I hope I'm going. That's for sure. You know, you should put that much energy into being a decent person, not that much energy into just being mean and ugly. And now that I have my fence up, I'm done. I won't be ugly no more because I've won this round. I'm done. I'm not going to waste any more ugly energy on this idiot. And let me tell you, when I shut those gates, that one that shuts on the side, I've never been able to shut it because they had like all kinds of shrubbery and stuff that had grown up. My husband never shuts it. We have like a circle drive, and that's, you know, we never shut those gates. And but when I shut that last gate and I shut that latch, it felt like a big set of arms just reached around my whole property. Like I could just feel it secure. You know, it's like that boom, shutting the yucky out and leaving the good in. You know what I mean? It just felt so good. Like that weight is off my shoulders. That I can even leave them out all night if I want to. I can leave, you know, I don't have to put them away. Oh God, I'm so happy. Now I hope they eat like mad for 2 weeks. The thing was, I didn't want to block up that alley because, watch, from that log right there over to that other fence is the alley, okay? So that's like the legal alley. And so look at all this stuff that is all the way up and down this alley. I wanted them to be able to get to this too, you know. That's all neighbors' fences. But I wanted them to be able to get to all this stuff. And now, because of the way my smarty pants son figured it out so fast, I knew he would. So, I mean, that still doesn't delete the problem with the fence, but see, honestly, we only have about 2 more weeks before this stuff, well, maybe like 3 more weeks before a lot of this stuff is going to start freezing. It's already, our summer is already like in September. We still have some very hot days, but it gets cold at night, and by the end of September, you're wearing coats and the whole deal, you know, and we're already we sometimes get snow in September, and in October, we definitely get snow. I don't know how many times I remember it snowing on Halloween here, so we definitely get snow in October, so, you know, it's already starting to cool down to the point where this stuff is going to start dying off. Once those sunflowers burst open, which they are starting over here on the side, that means fall is here, and it's going to start getting cold quick. So I only have about 2 to 3 weeks to let them eat as much of this as they can possibly eat before it's all gone, and hopefully by then they'll be fat. So, and I gotta go, I'm gonna figure out something else. I'm gonna worm them again. I wormed them all like 3 weeks ago, and yeah, I can worm them again, and then and stay on the grain. I went and got grain today, so grain and all this grass and hay, and hopefully they'll be fat by the time it gets really cold. All right, just want to give you guys that update. The gates are up, and it just feels better already. Just cozy and better that, you know, the bad is locked out. Love y'all. Bye.